This video is going to illustrate a method of changing the lead on the front of a group of riders that is more commonly known as riding through and off. As you can see on the screen, we're looking at a group of 6 riders that are riding 2 abreast, but the method is just as equally applicable to larger groups as well, and has several significant advantages over other more ad hoc methods of changing the lead on the front. Not least of those advantages is safety. Because the group is always maintaining a constant width on the road, there's no anxiety about what other road users might be doing that might delay your change on the front or increase the anxiety of changing the lead on the front of the group. A significant performance advantage of this method is that it allows the riders on the front to focus on maintaining a consistent pace. Maintaining consistent pace on the front improves the efficiency of the group, and we'll see more as to why that is useful later on. A nice advantage of this method of changing the lead on the front is that it's very sociable. We'll see why later on. When the change on the front is initiated, it could be as simple as the rider on the front at the right hand side just deciding it's time to change and calling out to the rest of the group, change. Or it could be much more structured insofar as the group has agreed before the ride that they're going to change based on a fixed time interval or a fixed distance interval. Once that change has been called, the rider on the front of the left-hand lane is going to be responsible for maintaining the pace. So they've got that responsibility to the rest of the group to keep the pace even as the change on the front takes place. Knowing that the change has been initiated, the rider at the front of the right-hand lane just eases off the pace ever so slightly, so they naturally drop back alongside the second rider in the left-hand lane. As they do that, the rider who's maintaining the pace on the front, who was on the left-hand side of the group, eases across to the right-hand side, looking over his shoulder to make sure that it's safe to do so, because if he clips the wheel of the rider who's dropping back, that rider's going to fall off. Having moved across to the right hand side, the rider that is now on the front of the right hand lane continues to maintain a nice consistent pace, so that the riders on the left can ease forwards alongside him without having to surge and massively increase their power to catch up. The rider that is now at the back of the right hand lane sees that the left hand lane has moved forward, and he pulls across to the left and forwards to catch up to the back wheel of the last rider in the left hand lane. Let's watch this next rotation roll through a little bit more quickly. Because the group is continuously rotating to the right, this has the advantage of being very sociable. It means that the riders have always got somebody different to chat to throughout the ride. Just to recap on the advantages of this method of rotating on the front then, it's incredibly safe because the effective width of the group on the road is never more than 2 riders abreast, which means you've got no anxiety about an oncoming group coming towards you. You're only going to stay on your side of the road, so you're not going to interfere with them, they're not going to interfere with you. Similarly, if there's a faster moving group coming up from behind on the left, you don't need to worry about it's time to change, but there's somebody coming up on the left If you're rotating to the right and you're maintaining your width on the road, then it doesn't matter about groups coming up alongside you on the left. The same is true of fast moving traffic if you're out on the main road as well. Because your group maintains the same width at all times, the car driver knows what he's dealing with. He can see that you're a certain size of group and that you're a certain width across the road, and that isn't changing. It's a lot easier for him to judge his overtaking manoeuvre as well. Then, from a performance point of view, this formation and the focus on maintaining consistent pace on the front means that the group will ride much more efficiently, because everyone knows what they're doing, everyone knows how to change the lead smoothly and effectively. There shouldn't be any surges of pace to close up the gaps or to ride faster to get to the front, and no harsh braking because somebody's made a surge in front of you, you surge to catch up with them, you overdo it and you have to slam on the brakes to slow down a little bit. All of that's inefficient. So effectively the group is conserving energy, managing energy a lot better, and has the opportunity to ride collectively a lot faster. So I hope you enjoyed watching the video. I hope it was useful, and I look forward to riding with you safely and more efficiently in the not too distant future. If you want to carry on watching, the video is going to continue and show a few more rotations continuously. And that's what we call riding through and off.